A new eyewitness gives a different account of the actions of Oklahoma City bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh. New concerns about some commuter airline propellers prompts a nationwide inspection. And President Clinton defends the decision to send Mrs. Clinton to the conference in Beijing. This is the CBS Evening News. And this is Bob Schieffer reporting. Good evening. A complication may have developed in the government's case against Timothy McVeigh, the man charged in the bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building. In the government's version of events up to now, McVeigh parked a truck loaded with explosives near the Federal Building, then fled in a car which had been parked nearby. But now an Oklahoma City lawyer says he believes he saw McVeigh driving the car into the building's underground garage. Scott Pelley has been covering the story and has this latest development.
20 minutes before the devastating blast, an eyewitness now says Timothy McVeigh was driving a car erratically around the Murrah Federal Building. This new account comes from Oklahoma City lawyer James Linehan, who says McVeigh nearly crashed into his car.
The thing that caught my eye about this person is they're hunched over the steering wheel, looking up at the Murrah Building. The next thing I know, this yellow vehicle, this Mercury, has floored it, just punched the gas, and it is going across the intersection. I look at the light and it's red.
Linehan says McVeigh ran 3 red lights.
Swerving over into my lane enough to push me into the oncoming traffic lane. Again, they are so intent on looking at the Murrah Building, which is now to their right, that they're doing this routine with their hands, and that's what's pulling them over into my lane.
An hour after the blast, McVeigh and his yellow Marquis were pulled over while heading out of town. Linehan says the last time he saw the car, it was pulling into the Murrah Building garage. Linehan has been interviewed by the FBI, but he was not called to testify before the grand jury. At this point, it's unclear whether his accounts of McVeigh's movements are at odds with the government's case. The government's indictment is short on details, saying only McVeigh parked the truck bomb and caused the truck bomb to explode. McVeigh's attorneys will likely raise the question of why their client would drive around the building and perhaps even into its parking garage if he had just set the bomb.
If you take the theory that Tim McVeigh parked his car and then went and got the Ryder truck, why would he park his car in a building he was about to explode?
The defense is considering whether to call Linehan as a witness. They are sure to exploit any differences between the government's theory and Linehan's encounter with a reckless Tim McVeigh. Scott Pelley, CBS News, Dallas.
At least 4 people died on Block Island, a resort off the coast of Rhode Island today, when a single-engine seaplane crashed into a restaurant filled with customers. The plane exploded in flame, killing both people on the plane as well as 2 people on the ground. Witnesses said the seaplane had been attempting to land offshore, but instead skipped over the water and onto land. In the aftermath of the crash of a propeller-driven commuter plane in Georgia on Monday, the FAA today ordered the nation's commuter airlines to inspect similar planes in their fleets. Jane Robelo has that story now.
The Federal Aviation Administration is requiring immediate inspection of all Embraer 120 Brasilia aircraft with propeller blades which have undergone significant repairs. The action affects some 20 planes. Airline passengers say they can live with any delays as long as it means a safer flight.
I've been in one accident already with an aircraft as a result of faulty equipment, and I'd just as soon not be in another one.
The FAA action comes following a recommendation from the National Transportation Safety Board, which is investigating Monday's crash of an Embraer 120, which killed 5 people. Inspectors say almost 4 feet of a propeller blade broke off in mid